Hi, everybody. Happy hump day. Happy therapy day. Happy day. But LA's on fire. Seriously. Like, is it as bad as the actual fires that happened here? Possibly. It's so crazy. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me today. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for subscribing, liking all the videos. Let me just get myself situated here. I just ran from the doctor getting my exam. I have to have an exam because y'all know I'm adopting a baby, and so I have to keep my health records up to par. So I just ran from the hey, Daniel, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us today, buddy. So before we get moving forward, I want to call everybody out trailer park from the trailer park in Cocoa, Florida. Oh man, I love you. That's so awesome. Right on. So before I get deep into this conversation with you all, thank you all for being here. Tell me where you're from. I want to call you out, and then we'll get going. So I'm going to start with Danielle because Danielle wrote they're from Trailer Park, Cocoa, Florida. That's awesome. Right on. You know, I love trailer parks, and Germany's in the house. The trailer park. Oklahoma's in the house. Nebraska's in the house. Belgium's in the house. Right on. Idaho's in the house, of course. Thank you, Idaho. Oklahoma, Netherlands, Sweden, Chicago, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Iowa's in the house. Who else we got going on, kids? We got a serious amazing group of people. If you're new to joining us here, you can see how many amazing people are here. Fort Worth, SoCal's in the house. South Carolina, Israel's in the house. Right on. Thank you, Israel. Arizona's in the house. North Dakota's in the house. Nebraska, Portland, Oregon, Arkansas, Massachusetts. Did I say that right? Wales is here. Simi Valley. Yeah. Nova Scotia's in the house. Pennsylvania. UK. I've been to a lot of these places. Humboldt County. Yeah, Humboldt County. We got Gibraltar in the house. Georgetown, Ohio. Portugal's in the house. We got Canada. We got, what is that? I can't pronounce it. I'm so sorry, but it's Sweden. We got misery in the house. Right on. We got UK in the house. Oh God, it's crazy here. I'll get into the LA thing here in a minute. England in the house, Florida, Sweden, Bay City, Michigan, Northern Germany, New York's in the house. We got Fargo, North Dakota. We got, yay, you made it live. Thanks for making the live. We got Edinburgh, Scotland in the house. We got Vancouver Island, Canada, which is very beautiful. Virginia, Glenburn, Yuba County, California, London, UK, Bingham, New York City. We got, so I still have to get my cataracts taken care of. Texas, right on Texas, Portugal, Texas. Got a lot of Texas today. We got a lot of UK and Texas, Minnesota, Arizona, Quebec. Thank you for being here. North Georgia's in the house. Ireland's in the house. Portugal's in the house. Germany, Long Beach, South Carolina. Is that Wisconsin? Englander. We got West Yellowstone, Montana's in the house. Beautiful, beautiful state. Cincinnati, Ohio, San Francisco, California, which I used to love, but I feel so sad for San Francisco. I'll be honest with you. It really deteriorated. Colorado in the house. And we should have a conversation about San Francisco. Roanoke, Virginia. Did I say that right? And Germany's in the house. Okay. First time catching lives. Thank you for being here. It means a lot to me. I do appreciate it so much. When you start to understand Las Vegas and Texas in the house, how important this space we all built. I don't think of this as my live. I think about it as a community live. Netherlands is in the house. I think of it as a space that we built in order to have conversations that seem to get sort of pushed to the side these days and sort of silenced on some levels. Some people don't like what I talk about. But that's okay. You don't have to like what I talk about. And there's many other channels. But also if you don't like, but I don't think most people who are here feel that way. But I think here's the deal. We're trying to show you that you should have an opposing opinion. You actually should really have an opposing opinion because I don't understand why you just want to go listen to the same people over and over. Now, one thing I do understand is I probably listen to a lot of different kinds of people. But when people are too far to one side, and that could be right or left, I get turned off by it. I actually do because I just feel like there's this Reno, California, right on. Thank you guys. this like thing where you're not going to budge. You're not going to budge. I'm a very nuanced thinker. I'm also a thinker. I'm also somebody who really prides myself on that I can change my mind and I can change my opinion. And I think it is very powerful to be a person who is able to change their mind and change their constantly. You can change your mind constantly. I really don't understand. And I think a lot of the people, if you're new here, yes, centrists unite. If you're new here, you're going to see like we really are more centrist focused here. And I could tell you something about something you go, oh, Buck, I didn't really know that, or I felt a different way about it. And now, and you know what? I also want to tell you all this. If you don't believe something, go research it. You have so much at your hands. It's crazy. You have so much ability to research things that you don't have to believe what I say, nor do you have to believe what you see on the media. You can actually go and I want to use this. I wish I would have got the video, but I didn't have a chance. I was running from the doctor. But one of the things I saw today in regards to the LA you protest, they're going to call it a protest. I most definitely think it started out as a protest but became a riot. One of the things I saw today, and everyone jumped on it because people liked, hey, the Fitz, thank you buddy, I appreciate you showing up all the time, thank you, was in a trans male group recently where a guy called his dad's dad joke a microaggression and then sent him this huge message saying he doesn't want a relationship anymore because he's sick of the Dude, you should just keep taking notes about this group you're in, this trans man group you're in, because they're crazy. They're microaggressions. Everything is a microaggression now. It's so pathetic. Here's one of the things I love about being old. You just totally know how to like let shit go and like move on to the more important things in life. But so this teacher downtown Los Angeles was crying. It actually is a viral video. You might have all seen it. He was crying. He's a teacher at, I think it might be an elementary or a high school downtown LA here. And he posted on the internet that ICE, okay, hi Vicky, they're so fragile, that ICE raided an elementary school. So I am not going to just believe that happened because I'm not. I'm not going to believe that ICE would ever raid an elementary school to get a child. Okay, they are after adults. I don't think they're making a conscious effort to take children. I think if children are part of the family, that might be a different conversation. But they are not raiding elementary schools. I don't even think they're raiding high schools. Okay. So this person posted on the internet and then the video went viral and it got like 2 point something million hits. And I'm like, wait, this doesn't sound right. This just does not sound right. So I went and I did some research from what I could find because it's hard to find truth. It is. Do you know Snopes? I think it's called Snopes.com, or there's other places where you can, if you dig enough, you can literally find the truth. So I went and I found it on 2 different spaces and it said that is a lie. Okay, even the ICE people, they did not do that. They did not raid an elementary school. They would never do that. They raided things that were next door to it. They were downtown LA raiding the district. What's it called? Raiding the garment district. And whether or not you disagree with Snoops or not, they actually do research on it. So they actually found the factual information because it's not one of the greatest, 100%. That's why I didn't just use them. I used different sources. I used different media sources. And I kept looking until finally all the sources I found said that they reached out to the ICE people who said this never happened. Also, the LA Unified School District. The actual LA Unified School District said this did not happen. So they said it. They said it didn't happen. And so that they raided places close to it and there were I think, in my opinion, they're going a little bit overboard. They are. I do think that. Okay. I think they are being a little bit nutty here with ripping people out of their homes and all that. That seems a bit scary to me. But anyway, I digress. I want to say this. There are people lying about what's actually going on, okay? Because that actually, that's right. When you push on fear and propaganda, it makes everyone go nuts. Okay, so now all these 2.5 million people, let's just say a million of them believe this guy's story. That sucks because that's not actually what happened. So now people are all over the internet, and some crazy ass drag queen painted up in like crazy makeup with antennas is like, and today the ICE raids raided the elementary school. Nope, didn't happen. But fear mongering, right? Baiting, okay, gaslighting. It's all of it, and it's not okay because I think that makes it worse. When you lie about what's going on and you don't know the whole story, but you just want to jump on this sort of bandwagon of whatever's happening in downtown. I don't know because I think it probably did start with good intentions, and I think it did start as an actual protest, and I think it did start to say, hey, wait a minute here, our government can't just go pull up to your house and open the door and say, where's your papers. That gets a little bit scary, you guys. Come on, whether or not you've got to look at the whole picture. That becomes a very scary space. As you know, I lived in Mexico, or if you don't know, I lived in Mexico for 10 years of my life, everybody. You had to always show proof of residency there. Okay, I got pulled over many times where I had to show proof of me living there. So other countries do it all the time. They don't just let you come and live in another country free of whatever. Let me just tell you what they did to me as an American who lived, right? Who lived in Mexico for 10 years. I had to continually, every year, I had to go into immigration. Every 6 months or 7 months, I had to leave America, come back. Thank you, Billy Joel. I appreciate that. Oh, hey, friend. Billy's going to be working with me about creating designs and stuff. So I appreciate you a lot, friend. She's making me an awesome store. So anyway, I just want to tell you, I had to show up to the immigration space constantly showing all of my proof of residency there, all my paperwork. You know what else I had to show? I had to show that I was bringing money. Okay, I'm not allowed to work in Mexico. I was not allowed to work there. I did not have a work visa. Okay, my job was over here. I had to show proof of all my income coming in there, how much money I was spending in Mexico, what kind of people I hired, because they want you to hire to participate in the economy. I had to do so much in order to live in Mexico. They didn't just let me move there. And it took me, I think, 3 or 4, maybe 5 years before I got my full residency. I got permanent residency in Mexico because I followed the rules. Okay. Now, that being said, I understand that some people are trying to escape bad situations in other countries, and that's why they come to our country. I don't know that. Of course I know that. And of course we all know that. But the situation is it our, I want to put this right so it doesn't sound nasty because I don't want it to, but is it the responsibility of America to take care of everybody whose country sucks? It's a question. I'm going to drink a little of my coffee. Is it our responsibility? Thanks for becoming a member, Maddie. I appreciate it. Is it our responsibility to be the savior for every country that sucks and does shit to their people and does not help their people, or people hate their government? I want to know, is it our responsibility to take those people on? Okay, good. That's a good answer, Kaleidoscope. Not responsibility, but would like to do what we can. No doubt. You know me, I'm a very empathetic person. I am. I think I consider myself to have a big heart. Okay. Right. This is a great answer. Ella says we have to help our country first. That is really what I'm trying to say here. We have to help our country first. Because it's like what they tell you about the gas mask and the plane. When the plane is going to eat shit or whatever's happening, they always tell you to put your gas mask on first. And then you can help others. I really love that analogy because, hey, Joshua, thanks for becoming a new member, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, friend. So if we don't put our own gas masks on, and majority of you, believe Samantha. Hi, Samantha. Hey, Samantha is going to be coming on and doing a reaction video with me. Hey, love you very much, friend. So it's our responsibility to take care of our people, the American people who put taxes in, work, participate in our American culture, do all the things that that is not a racist thing to say. It is not a racist thing to say, nor is it anti-immigrant. We have shit ton of immigrants in this country who are welcome with open. My dad is an immigrant from Canada, by the way. His dad is from Scotland to Canada, from Canada to America. And my dad did all the paperwork. Okay, so whether or not you think Canada it's another country, and he did come from another country. And my dad did all the paperwork. But that being said, yeah, it has never, Cool Cat makes a great point too. Border control has never been a racist issue. It's not about race, people. I don't know why everything has to be about race now, right? Or Mexico. It's not just Mexican citizens that are being taken out of this country, by the way. It's not just Mexicans. There's Chinese being deported, Vietnamese, Indian people are being deported. I know because I actually know somebody. So why does it come down to racism, right? Why does it come down to, oh, it's anti-Mexican? Why is it now that being said, let me ask you I do not believe it's our responsibility to take care of the whole world. As you know, just look at Vietnam. What a shit show disaster that was, okay? Even like all the wars we get ourselves into when it's not us, and then we fucking put our foot into it, and then it becomes a mess, okay? Yeah. As a white American, I can't get my passport or driver's license renewed. Why? They won't issue me a passport. Why is that? Well, they won't issue me a birth certificate. What? As a white, is that real? What? Is that actually real? Because I would like to know more about that. Yes, Lisa says, Mexican Americans. That's right. And I have a lot of video of them. American Mexicans want illegals out too. Of course they do, because first off, they take away jobs in this country for people who are willing to do the job and get paid for. I mean, there's a lot of dynamics here that we're not talking about. Our economy, it's America first, and then we'll help all you other people. But if we don't help our own people, well, I'd like to know more about that before I can help you, Watt. Here, let me bring this up, and maybe some of you. Watt says, I am a white American, and I can't get my passport or driver's license renewed. They won't issue me a passport. But why wouldn't they issue, if you're legal and you have all your paperwork? I have a lot of info. Here, hold on, you guys. I got sidetracked a bit, but I'm very interested in this guy here. Hold on a second here. I might also just insinuating that you're a dude, but I don't care. Here, let me show this. I have lots of info about it being dying with it for 3 years. I'm locked out of my bank account. Okay, why don't you send me an email? Lisa or Ann is going to put the email address up here. Send me an email, and then I'll see what I can do to see if we can talk about that a little bit more. Okay? Okay. That's funny, Wolfie. Do you know how many people keep telling me, Bucky, you need to get into politics? Well, I pushed against it for a long time. Blair White, as you all know, is one of my very great friends, and she's really very, very intelligent, and she really did sort of segue into politics now, and she's very politically savvy. She is. Blair White is politically savvy, and so I think it was a very smart move for her to do that. I'll tell you that I have fought against getting politically active for a long time, but now I'm starting to second guess it. I literally am. I'm starting to second guess it. So I appreciate you saying that, because I'm like, hey, wait a minute here. We have so many ridiculously stupid people in politics. It's unbelievable to me that these people are politicians. Like, I care about this country. I also care about people. And I care about how you got to have a system in place. You've got to have a secure, powerful system in order for, I always looked at Sweden. I think Sweden is Elaine here. I always looked at them because I always thought their system was pretty sharp, I don't know how you all feel about socialized medicine. I don't know how you all feel about I'm a total capitalist. I'm just going to say it. I am. I'm a capitalist. I believe in capitalism. I think that's why a lot of people come to this country, because you have an opportunity to create things that you want. I think the best kind of capitalist is the person who creates the space and shares that space. Okay. I'm not for greed. I don't like that. I think capitalism has turned greedy and gross. And basically, what happens is people make all this shit and then they keep it for themselves and they don't want to share it with anybody else. That's not the kind of capitalist I think I am. I'm a guy who believes that you and I both should have the same opportunity. But if I'm a little bit more savvy in business and this, then, I'm just going to do that. But that being said, everyone should have the opportunity to create their own business. It's the best thing I ever did. I'm telling you, man, it's the best thing I ever did, from somebody who did not graduate high school, was always called a dumb shit, was told that I was never going to amount to anything. I was literally told that, that I'm dumb. And I actually got called the R word when I was like, I think my mom and dad took me to have a test done. I'm going to find out from my book which test it was. But, when I was like 10 or 11, I was struggling in school. And then my parents took me to have some psychological test done. And then my mom said that they actually called me the R word, because you could do that in the 60s and 70s. And then they said that I was borderline R word. I'm like, what? Like, what? It's crazy, isn't it? Misleading. Anyway, that being said, I proved them wrong. There's a lot of things kids struggle with. We know that. We talk about the trans nonsense all the time. These kids are struggling. Kids struggle. If you got kids, it's just the most. But, that gets put in your head. That's why it's really dangerous to tell a kid they're dumb, or it's really dangerous not to let a kid kind of find their space, right? I was more artistically inclined, not autistic, artistically inclined. I like to build things and draw and, be more kind of that way, and sports, but I was not academically achieving. And so immediately when you don't academically achieve, you're considered a dummy. But I think my point was capitalism, okay? And capitalism to me is an important part of this country. And so when I see these young kids talking about like socialism and that, this capitalism is evil, yet there they are with what? What do they have in their hands when they're doing it? It's hilarious. They got this in their hands. They have the iPhone in their hands, and they're on TikTok, and they're on TikTok making money, or they're at a YouTube channel. I mean, the hypocrisy. That's how dumb these people. They've literally dumbed everybody down. It's why I also think these protests in LA are insanely dumb, because they're not a protest anymore. They're something else. I really believe. Thanks everybody for joining me today. I really believe that a lot of the people at the protests have been put there. I don't necessarily believe that what you're seeing is what's actually happening. I don't believe now that they're actually protesting immigration. I think now, have you noticed? Now all of a sudden, a shit ton of these people are all wearing the Palestinian armband for Hamas and the scarf, and a lot of them. Today I saw on a feed in New York City, they're doing it now, and guess what they're doing? They're saying globalize infada. How do you pronounce it? Antifada. Antifada. Globalize antifada. They're literally saying that. Do you guys even know what that even means? Like, that's literally part of the protest now. So it turned into protesting immigration, right? Well, I think Greta is a total wingnut, right? Greta's part of the whole thing. These people are all, right? Yeah. It's all connected. It's all connected. Don't let these people fool you. Right. And I saw that, my sister. Yes, I saw that. They were handing out gas masks. They were handing out bricks. Do you know that somebody put a whole pile of bricks there? What do you think they got the bricks to be throwing at the police cars? Then I saw some kid crunching up the sidewalk to get pieces of cement. These are all actual videos that are all over the internet. I'm not making it up. It's actually real. So I think Greta's gross. She's just another one of those people who want to be part of the whole thing and want everybody to think that she has good intentions. She does not have good intentions. Somebody's paying for it. I don't know if it's Soros. I don't know who it is, but somebody's paying with this. And also somebody was showing me something about Walmart being, who knows anymore, right? Yeah, that's right, Go Navy. 10% protesters, 90% rioters. You are 100% right. It is so disgusting. So now the pro Hamas group got connected to the right the protesting immigration, and now it's turning into it's actually scary. I'm telling you, people, we've got to wake up. We've got to wake up. They are separating us. They are dividing us in this country because when you start dividing people, you can conquer those people. And when you set Antifa, all of it, it's dividing us. It's dividing you and I in our way of being. If you don't put America first, why are you here? Why are you here? Freedom Fest this weekend in Palm Springs. What? Wait a minute. You need to send me that. I'm going to be in Palm Springs. Can you send me more information? Because I'll go to it. Are you going to be there? Freedom Fest this weekend in Palm Springs at the convention center. Wow. Thank you for that. I'm going to be in Palm Springs this weekend, taking care of my parents. Rebecca, thank you, friend. I think everyone is angry about everything. It's literally the line of the year or of the last 5 years. And there are no good answers for a world at war with itself. People are losing their minds. That's it. We're done. Show over. You just basically said it all. I think we're all thinking that. Everyone's lost their minds. Why do you think everyone's lost their minds? Why are people being sort of pushed into one direction of thinking? Here, Anna says, ICE just came to my neighborhood to arrest someone with a warrant. Now people are going to stage a protest this weekend. But they have a warrant. Can I ask you all this? Because I don't know everything. I don't know everything, okay? But you might know the answer to this. Like this person just said that they're going in. So I want to ask all of you this. Maybe you can answer. When ICE goes into the house of, say, Susie right here, okay? That's my go-to name, Susie. If the ICE goes into Susie's house, do they need a warrant to go into that house, or can ICE just go into the house without a warrant? Does anybody know? I'd like to know because that helps me understand things a little bit more. Oh, they don't need a warrant. They could just go in. They can just get. ICE is the immigration. They're the ones who are ICE based. I don't know exactly what it stands for. Immigration something. They need probable cause, but I'm talking specifically about ICE, you guys. So unsure. They need probable cause. This person says no, they don't. So they don't. Do you know that for sure? I think they are the warrant. Okay, I'm going to look a little bit more into that because that's actually, don't you think that's a little bit scary? Don't you think that's a little scary? If the government can just show up to your front door, thank you. ICE stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Thank you. Actually, I have somebody who works in the field. I'm going to reach out to them, actually. They would be a great person to talk to. Shannon. Hey, Shannon, Greta should have gone to Subway for a sandwich. Oh, my God. So I'm really interested to know because it scares me. You signed papers allowing me to. What paper did I sign? So Empowered Wendy says that they don't need a warrant. And then now you said you signed papers allowing me to. You mean when you came to the country or just in general as an American? So I'm really a little bit not understanding that ICE can show up at the house right now in my house because maybe somebody called to say that I'm not a legal American. And when they show up to the house, they can just come into my house and then what? Ask me for paperwork or maybe my passport. One of the things that I fear from all of these riots is that Trump will declare, I know he already did. We have martial law here in Los Angeles. Did you know that? We have martial law here. USA, I'm a citizen. They can't. Right. So obviously they can't take you if you're a US citizen. But how do they know if you're a US citizen? What if you don't have a passport? Okay, so let's say they show up to my door and you don't have a passport, but you have a California ID. Does that count for an American citizen, I don't think they can come in. Vicky says that they can't not just come in most cases. But what would be the case that they could? You know, I think these are all questions we should all be asking. Are you a U.S. born citizen? I am a U.S. born citizen. I was born right here in Inglewood, California, 63 years ago. Can anyone get a California ID? Can anyone get a California ID? I think that's been part of the problem. Anyone can get a California ID, Rebecca says. Okay, so that's part of the problem then, right? So if you are here illegally, okay, I don't think you could get a real ID, but you might be able to get a California ID. And they come to your house. You can show, but what if you don't have a birth certificate? What if you don't have a passport? What if you don't have any paperwork other than your actual California ID? Okay, can't you fake an ID? I did that when I was 16. I made a fake ID. I heard, so Jan says, I heard set arrests are happening on basis of skin. No, that's not true. That's not true. Go watch my video yesterday that I did on the LA riots. That's not true. That's what all kinds of people are being arrested. Okay? But you understand that I live in Los Angeles? Show your mortgage loan. I live in Los Angeles where, just so you know, it's hugely a Latino population here. Huge Latino population. So if they raided places downtown LA where a lot of Latinos work in warehouses in the clothing district, they raided places like they didn't go into Home Depot. They went on the outside of Home Depot, and if you've ever been to Home Depot here, they have people who are standing around Home Depot who want to work and wait to do that. And those are the people they picked up. Those are the people that ICE agents, hey Sonny, thank you friend, Google. ICE agents do not need a warrant. Thanks for this, though we all know we don't trust Google 100%. Do not need a warrant to make an arrest for immigration in public spaces. They do need a warrant signed by a judge to enter a home. Thank you, friend. Thank you, Sonny. I appreciate that. Do you all see that? So yesterday, or how many days ago that they did this raid, they went to Home Depot and they got hey Gothic, thanks for showing. They got all of these people that were surrounding Home Depot, or the people that try to get jobs, and they snatched them all up, which according to this, ICE agents do not need a warrant to make an arrest in a public space. So I appreciate that a lot, Sonny. Thank you very much for that. So I just learned something, right? How do we become better? I guess the question here is this: how do you and I become better Americans while at the same time having compassion and empathy for the people who are immigrants to this country, even illegal immigrants? Okay? I believe we should have compassion for illegal immigrants. I do not think we should be mean to them. I do not think we should be calling them names. I do not think we should be nasty, ugly people. But on the flip side of that, when we have information like that, we understand. That also being said, why should we be okay to have people enter our country where you and I pay a boatload of taxes to have all the things we have here, okay, in order to accommodate people who are not participating? I have no problem helping people get on their feet. I actually don't. I think it's extremely important that we help people who are less fortunate. I'm a very fortunate person, though I have had bad times. I've lived on the streets. I've done crack. I've just been a total mess. But I got myself out of that situation with the help of other people. But I think in order for us to understand the whole thing, we have to have some compassion, right? The compassion is, Lynn says, this is great. The compassion is that the illegal immigrants are being offered $1,000 and a paid ticket home. Wow. See, I just learned something else. The compassion is that the illegal immigrants are being offered $1,000. Wow. And a paid ticket home. I knew they were getting a paid ticket, but I didn't realize they were getting $1,000. Well, thank you for that, Lynn. So there's something else I learned. Okay, there's something else. Yeah, Blair will come on. I'll get Blair to come on. I'll get Blair to come on. She'll full on come on to one of my lives. That would be great. I'll ask her about that and discuss this. She's very, very, very versed in all of this. Okay, so truth. They pay you to self deport. So what's the problem? So okay, so this is great. Thank you, Lan. Now I want to ask this question. They pay you to self deport, but what if they catch you in the sting at Home Depot? What happens if they catch you in a sting at Home Depot and then they put you in the thing? Do you still get the $1,000? Or is it only for the people who decide that they are going to remove themselves, right? They need to come legally. I think we're all in agreement here about that, right? Hey, Angela, thank you, friend, for joining us today. Thank you for that. Right, Buck. But if your house is on fire, you can't help your neighbor until you put your, that's right. That's what I said earlier. You got to put your gas mask on, right? It's falling apart. We can't afford 100%. And veterans aren't, well, don't get me started. So, Angela, we're on the same page. I think you might have come a little later. One of the things I said was, we can't help the whole world. That's not our job. It's not my job. I'm saying this. I'm saying when we get all the information, because all you're getting here in LA is that the ICE agents are slamming in and ripping people out of their families. And, it's just not possible. You just showed it to me. You have to have a warrant to enter somebody's home here. Okay? You can't just come and take somebody out of their home. Even if you think they still have to follow rules. So basically they're enticing people who are here illegally, right? They're enticing people here by saying, hey, thank you for this. Thank you for all this, you guys. RDH, thanks for joining. I don't get how all of these people who advocate for any of this nonsense can't see how they are being manipulated. I know. Every day I say it. Every day I say it. But my opinion about this is, RDH, is that's why we've dumbed down our people in this country. That's why education is so gnarly and disgusting and low. So people aren't learning anything. All the kids are on the phone, on TikTok. They're all becoming influencers. Why would you go to school and get a career when you can go on TikTok and make $1 million? So you see what I mean? It's a master plan. So me and you are in agreement of that. I don't understand how anyone could be so easily manipulated, but it's because they're being taught to not research. They're being taught to listen to people. When somebody says, you don't need to read it, I read it for you, which a lot of people do, that's got to be your first red flag, right? So the fact is that people are being manipulated and dumbed down. They're being dumbed down. So our education system is a joke. And these young kids who are coming out, and even at the universities, when they have queer theory and they have all of this stuff, they're focusing on gender and identity, and they're not focusing on medicine and legal and getting people into great professions. They're actually focusing on telling these kids things to manipulate them. And that's why I don't even want my kids to go to university. Me and Rachel and I are going to fight over that. That's for sure. I'm like, ew, what university is he going to go to? They're all gross. They're all disgusting. So I think they're teaching kids to be lazy. That's, critical thinking is no longer part of anything anymore. You're not allowed to critically think, or you're called a bootlicker or a turf, right? So once they are detained, they lose all, right? So I have no sympathy for the illegals. I get it. Don't think I don't get it. I'm at trade school is a great thing, right? Trade school is awesome. We should really push trade schools. I think it's very awesome and cool. So I think having compassion and empathy is a way you can only have in my opinion, right? In my opinion, you can only have compassion and empathy when things are put in front of your face with honesty, okay? And not with manipulation, gaslighting, threats. You're not going to have compassion for people. So when you see what's happening downtown, let me ask you this question. When you see what's happening downtown and all you see are Mexican flags being waved and Palestinian flags being waved, but I don't see any American flags being waved. How can you have compassion for these people who say they're immigrants and they belong here and it's their country and we stole it from Mexico when all of that is a complete lie? We didn't steal. California was not stolen from Mexico. If you know, California was sold to the America for like $15 million. So Mexico literally sold out the Mexican people. And all of a sudden it's Mexican land. But also what happened to Spain? Didn't Spain go in and take over Mexico? Like, I don't think the Mexicans even know their own history. I lived in Yucatan, Mexico, everybody, okay? The people of the Yucatan, Mexico are Mayans. They are Mayan people. The original indigenous people of the Yucatan are Mayan people, okay? The woman who was the woman that worked for me, okay, her whole family, a beautiful, amazing people. And I don't call them my help. No, no, they became part of my family. Like every morning, Lulu and I would have coffee and hang out. She was such a beautiful human being and she took a lot of good care of me. But that being said, she taught me a lot about the Mayan people. And the thing that's so crazy how they call us all colonizers. Like, hello, your country was colonized by Spain. Learn your own history. And then don't come to this country and then start blapping off that we're all white and colonizers. You were colonized by the Spaniards. And you also got sold out. It's so dumb. So anyway, I'm living there. And Lulu is a Mayan woman. And she starts to teach me all about the Mayan culture, which is fun. I should do a whole thing on Mayan culture. I just get the chills when I think about the stuff that was given to me there and how the Mayans really accepted me. And I learned so much about spirituality. And I used to go to these amazing pyramids that were like literally 10 minutes from my house and just hang out and feel the energy. And the Mayans were extremely intelligent people. And there was just so much great cultural stuff to learn there. But that being said, you want me to tell you this great story? I'm going to tell you it. Okay. It is such a great story about all of this racist stuff, and the Mexicans act like they don't have racism in their country. They have so much racism against the Mayans. Basically, the Mayans are the black people, okay? They're considered lower than. So there I am. Lulu loves to tell me these great stories. So she said one day her father told her this story, and he went, was it? No, it was her. She went. No, it was the woman she worked for. I can't remember exactly who the person was, but this person went into the dry cleaner that worked for this Spaniard woman, and she was a Mayan woman. And she walks into the dry cleaning store, and the person behind the counter was also Mayan. So the Mayan woman says to the man behind the counter, and the Mayan woman worked for somebody. She was picking up dry cleaning or something. And she says to the Mayan man behind the counter in Mayan, hey, how you doing? Love to see you. And then there was a woman in front of her who's Spanish, a Spaniard, turns around to the Mayan woman and says, "Don't you dare speak in that dirty language in front of me." I was like, what? She said, yeah, she called it all these dirty, nasty words and called her like basically the N-word and like, we don't talk in. And I was just like, it literally happens in Mexico too. So don't even try it. They are just as racist. They tried to wipe out the Mayan language. Did you know that? They literally tried to wipe out the Mayan language. They didn't want the language there. They made them speak Spanish. They weren't allowed to speak Mayan. Thank God for the elders of the Mayan community who hid some of the books that kept the Mayan language. So Lulu's dad would make her speak Mayan. So she never lost. She knew how to speak Mayan, and I would ask her all the time, like, speak, because I want to hear how it sounds. And it sounds so ancient. It's crazy. But she knows how to actually speak Mayan. So now, fast forward today, they are actually starting to teach Mayan language in the schools in the Yucatan because they realized what they did was disgusting. But anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say here is they act high and mighty. A lot of people think, like white people are bad, or we're all colonizers, or we're all this. You were colonized by the Spaniards and you let it happen. So why aren't you saying the same thing in your own country? And the way you talk about Mayan people is disgusting and gross. And so, I have firsthand experience of a lot of things as a white dude that people don't think I have. And, I get called, they're calling me white now, spelling it like this, Whyte. Like, what? What does it have to do with anything? Why are you telling me to sit this one out, Buck? You're white. I'm not sitting this one out. I'm an American, and I have every right to have a opinion about what's going on in my own country. That's what America is about. It's not about you as a Mexican. Okay, if you're here as a Mexican legally, more power to you, buddy. Stay here, work, make your family awesome, contribute to the economy, be a badass. I'm all for that. But don't you dare tell me that I can't speak because my color of my skin doesn't match what's going on. This is America. What's wrong with everybody? What has happened? You see what they're doing? They're splitting us all up. They're literally splitting us all up through color, through religion, through through countries. It's just shocking to me the way some people speak to me and think like now I'm the bad guy because I'm the white guy. Oh, this guy, I'll be posting about it. He's a drag queen, of course. He's a non-binary Latino drag queen who told me to sit down because I'm white. I'm like, good luck making me sit down now, buddy. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Oh, yeah, Fitz. The Fitz says Blair shared that her barista posted on Reddit they make her coffee and people have talked about messing with her drinks. So, yes, she did do that. And I posted to Starbucks about that. And I said, you need to fire this person because that's disgusting. It actually happened to Blair. But Blair's a badass, and Blair's going to really make sure that this person loses their job as they should. They were talking about, like, I think spitting in her coffee and doing all kinds of nonsense to her. Do I worry about it? No, I don't worry much about being attacked because it never happens. It just, those people are all babies because the same thing that happened to Blair, they didn't say it to Blair's face. They went on Reddit and talked about it. Don't think people don't notice me. I get a lot of people saying, oh my God, Buck, hey, thanks for what you're doing. I get it all the time walking down the street in LA, all the time. I get so many amazing comments. People say to me, hey, thanks, keep up the good work. Does anyone ever say mean things to me, to my face? Never. Never. Not that it might not happen. It might. But I don't care. Go ahead and say whatever you want to me. I'll say something right back to you. So the thing is that these people are they're just a bunch, you know what? They're people who could never stand on their own 2 feet. They're people who are part of a cultish space. I stand on my own 2 feet. I hope you all know that. I stand on my own 2 feet. I have my own belief system. Just because I am transsexual and I guess part of the LGBT community, I don't feel like I have to watch what I say. I say what I want to say. And if conservative means that you believe in truth and honesty, well, then I guess I'm a conservative. Though I never thought of myself as a conservative because I think of my parents as conservatives, or I think of people who didn't like me as conservatives. But I think that that's changed, and I think it's changed over the years. And I think the idea of a liberal and the idea of a conservative have literally changed. And I'm not embarrassed in any way to say that because like I'm gonna say it again, if a conservative means that you care and that you have compassion and that you're wanting laws and regulations, because I do. You cannot walk this world without laws and regulations. And I care about children, and I also care about myself, and I care about you. If that's what a conservative person is, how can I not consider myself a conservative at this point? Though I think it's kind of funny if you know my background and where I'm from and the things I've done and what I do, to even say that is quite funny. But people try to use conservative as a negative thing, and they try to use conservative as a sort of weaponized, right? They try to weaponize. I think that people use liberals as a weapon too. I think people throw both of those words around very flippant, like, oh, you're a liberal, you're a bad person, or oh, you're a conservative. That's why I just don't want to be either one. I'm a much more sort of nuanced middle ground person. What's that called? What's a nuanced middle ground person called? Normal? Nuanced middle ground. I'm just normal. Let's make the party of normal. Okay? So we don't have to be like all over that. Like I don't need to. Why do we always have a centrist? Thank you, Lynn. A centrist. I'm literally a centrist or an independent. I just am. I think I've always been that, but I thought I was a Democrat before. I don't think I possibly was ever. Maybe I was a Democrat when I was 20, right? But now I most definitely a centrist. And so the party of centrist is an independent. Is that the party of a centrist? And if the party, I think that's probably where I land, right? An independent person, right? I functional. Thank you. Thank you all for throwing these great. I think we should call it the normal party. I think that would be really great. Remember, I don't know how many of you smoke weed or use cannabis, whatever you want to call it, but do you remember the organization called Normal? It was the national organization for marijuana. I don't know exactly what all the words stand for, but it was called Normal, right? So RDH, thank you. Enlightened centrist. That even sounds better, dude. I like that even better. That sounds much more happy. I just am a happy person. Remember Normal? Remember this organization, you guys? We should actually just make our own political party called Normal. We really just should. It would have, well, marijuana law, because I was big into also into the cannabis space for a long time. I was all about helping legalize cannabis here in California. I had my own company. I used to use cannabis for a long time. I quit using cannabis. It's been a year now. I haven't smoked cannabis. I just got bored with it. I'm that guy who after a while, I'm bored with my iPhone. I don't really care anymore. I don't want to learn shit. I hate social media. It's so boring. I also feel like pressured. I feel pressured into posting, right? Like I don't want to feel pressured into posting. I want to feel like it's just, oh, today I just want to post something. But it just becomes this whole thing when you get involved in all of this space. Like you just have to keep posting and you have to keep putting it out there. And it's just so, like, can't we just, like, I think part of the problem also is that people have just gotten stuck into this competition space, right? Everything's a competition now. What protest can be bigger and more powerful than the next protest? And let's do all this. And you people are just destroying our country. You're just not one single American flag. Not one single American flag do I see in downtown Los Angeles. It's either a Mexico flag or a pro-Palestinian flag. That should tell you everything right there. So, God, you guys, we could talk for days. Look what time it is. Okay, so I want to show you this. Let me show you this because I think this is really important. I want to talk about this for 1 minute.
I'm not going to do nothing.
It's not worth it.
I know.
Want them to be right?
No.
The photo doesn't cost your life.
Wait, we can't take photos?
The more we attract the photos, everyone's taking photos.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's going to attract up to take more photos.
Okay.
Those are for the fucking picture and that's our life.
Yeah. So what do you recommend?
We show our peace to make peace.
Should I go back or stay here?
Can you hear it?
Okay.
Basically, you know what that woman was doing? You know what she was doing? It's super cool. You know what she was doing? She was trying to calm everybody down. She was one of the people who are actually trying to create a protest. She was like, don't do that. Stop. There are actually people there trying to calm people down. Like, why are you doing this? This is totally insane. So I wanted to show you her because it's not all wingnuts down there. There are actual people who are literally trying, right? Really? Yeah, they did burn the American flag. It's disgusting. Hold on. I have this one. Let me see. Maybe this is the one that has it. What? Look at the Waymo. So look, there's a Mexican flag. Where's the American flag? I actually don't see it. I see a gay flag. I see people wearing the Khalif thing, the scarf, right? But I don't see one American flag. Seriously. It's actually, so let me go back here. Do you guys know what someone said why they're burning the Waymo? Do you guys know why they're burning the Waymo? See, there's a Waymo. Do you know? Hey, thank you from Spain. Do you know why they're burning the, yes, flags are divisive. That's what they use them for. Do you know why they're burning Waymos. I was watching, I don't believe everything I hear on the internet, by the way. You know that. I try to research everything. But one of the things and one of the reasons why these groups of people were burning the Waymos, supposedly, is because the Waymos, pardon me, the Waymos are secret intelligent for the government. I'm not kidding. This is what people said. Now, I don't know. I have to laugh because I don't believe it. But they say that it is an intelligence car that is gathering info for the government and disguised as a ride share. Autumn, huh? That's what I said. But see how they perpetuate they perpetuate these lies and get people to think like everything is a conspiracy. Yeah, that's right, Lynn. All of those cars burned. We're all paying for it. We're all paying for it. Now, watch this one. I want to know what you guys think about this one.
Agree with the term illegal. We're undocumented. We've been here for thousands of years before you guys showed up, screw up everything. We think we should organize together with the U.S. working class and fight together and create a better system. We're anti-capitalist. We think socialism does work, real socialism.
Anti-capitalist, and he considers himself an undocumented, not an illegal. Okay, so catch all the words he's saying.
Socialism, not Venezuela, not Cuba, not any of that crap that they try to sell us as socialism. And we believe it would be a more humane system that will take care of most of all people's necessities.
Is there a country we can look to kind of model the socialism idea?
The only model would be Soviet Union the first 4 years. After that,
see, they want to create a socialist country here. I have to disagree. If you want to have a socialist country and you're not even an American, you're an undocumented, you got to listen to this. Now, I don't know if he's a plant, because you just never know these days. And someone wrote on here, is he 100 years old? I know. He literally came from the past. He's a ghost from the past.
It became a mess. Sadly, there was a bureaucrat leadership that grew out of that, but it has to do mainly with the attacks of the U.S. and all big powers against that system that was working. In the few years that it lasted, it showed the world that it could do much better than capitalism.
No, it never functioned. It might have functioned for a minute, and then it didn't function. A ghost from the past. Like literally, you are an undocumented worker coming to this country and fighting to create a socialist country against what the actual Americans want, which is a capitalistic country. Is this real? Yeah, I heard he was a plant. I'm not really sure, but I just think it's pretty profound. Well, this person's walking around telling people this. A ghost from the past. You guys are hilarious. Okay, wait. I have a couple more that we're going to have to head out. Wait, hold on. There's a couple more that I really felt were really important. Welcome to... Oh, this one. You're going to love this one. You're going to love this one. Hold on. You're going to love this. Salud. Salud. Welcome to Compton. Welcome to Compton. With the grass is green. Queremos a Trump. We want Trump. Bring the food.
Oh, so you're against the protests or for the protests?
I just chilling. You know, I live here and I ride my horse and that's it. This guy is so good. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, there you go. A Mexican dude in Compton is like, we want Trump. So people, sorry, but there's a lot of Mexican Latinos, okay, who voted for Trump, whether you like it or not. And they don't like illegals here, okay? They don't. They keep saying it. Okay. Hey, Kathy, thank you, friend. I think people have more conservative values than they realize. You're right. You are exactly right about that, especially when it comes to family. They are just not curious. No, you're right, Kathy. I think I felt that I was that. And I think I'm always honest to you guys. I felt embarrassed to say I was more conservative because I always was thinking of my parents. And I was like, no, I'm not. And I fought against it for a long time. But I definitely think that I feel, oh, thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. So wait, I got a couple more really good ones here. He's so cool on his horse. He's like, I'm just riding my horse, but Trump. I just thought that was okay. So listen to this woman right here. This one is also really good.
Not liking the way
Listen to this. Black woman, by the way.
I'm really not liking the way these LA riots are looking, because you remember BLM when Democrat politicians were encouraging people to get out and protest, even though supposedly they were supposed to be staying home to save lives because of COVID. And all of a sudden mass gatherings were okay and they were excusing the violence. Well, they're doing the same thing right now with the LA riots, but you know why I think this is going to get even worse than BLM? Because the Black Lives Matter movement was just a hard narrative to keep going. I mean, I'll never forget when they tried to turn a narrative about 4 black cops who beat up a black guy and saying that was because of white supremacy, or a black guy resisting arrest, running to a cop with a knife. But this, deporting illegals. Oh, they can keep this narrative going for a while. They can give us sob story after sob story, but only during Trump, because last year when Biden deported 260,000 of them, the media was silent.
I mean, I'm finding so many of these, you guys. So many. And one more. Let me bring up this lady here because I think she also
I know those protests, aka riots, they're not organic. Now, I done told many of y'all this before, but I'm going to repeat it because I have so many new followers. My husband and I joined the Black Lives Matter movement, and that's when I woke up to pay protesting. I had never joined a big movement before. I had 10,000 people on my live. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I was happy that I joined that movement now, looking back on it, because I could tell that we were emotionally controlled into believing in it. But I'm happy that I did go because I got to experience some things and come back and tell the truth.
See?
It was a setup. Bricks was already in the road. 10 trash can barricades already in the road. And the paid protesters stuck out like a sore thumb. They standing back looking like this. And the folks that's agitating these protests are not even from the area. Clock it. Therefore, for experience, for knowledge, and for truth, join some of these protests and see it with your own 2 eyeballs.
Oh, she's so badass, you guys. She's literally spilling the beans on BLM, which we all know was literally created to agitate. It's actually what's happening in downtown LA right now. And it's too bad because all these idiots are doing this. And then what's going to happen is this thing that this lady is doing right here. They're all going to vomit up that they were paid agitators, but it's not going to be for a couple of years. That's the thing is, that's why it's important that we get these people saying this shit about BLM, because just lay it on top of pro-Palestine, lay it on. Now, you all know that whole conversation is a shit show because people don't want to have a conversation about pro-Palestine. They just immediately go after Israel as the bad thing. There are all kinds of stuff going on there, okay? You cannot just have a one-sided conversation there. So let's put that aside. But BLM, there are so many people coming out who thought they were doing something good for the black lives, and now they're all like, I got duped, and it was all a bunch of bullshit because the lady who created the Black Lives Matter made millions and millions and millions, and these people got nothing, just nothing. They all got completely used, and that's what's going to happen with pro-Palestine, the immigration riots, peaceful protests. Oh gosh, do I have this last one that I wanted to show you? Oh man, didn't I bring it up? Oh, I'm gonna be so mad because it's actually really good. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, I have so many good ones, you guys. People are coming from other parts and protesting. How did all those Mexican flags get there? How did all of those thousands of Mexican flags end up in the protests in LA? How? I also heard, and I'm trying to do a little more research, that there was a pile of bricks already laid out the night before. They were handing out gas masks. They were handing out all kinds of shit to these people. If that was a true, real protest, nope, sorry. Also, do you know they were looting the shit out of the stores downtown? They were looting them all. They were looting Nike, Adidas, Apple Store, every kind of store. They were looting them. What does that have to do with a protest? I'm going to say it again. Okay, it's organized. I'm going to say it again. I was here for Rodney King, watched the whole city burn down, and you know how long it took for Compton to get back on its feet? I don't even think it is now, okay? I was here for BLM, same insanity. I was in New Orleans, Louisiana for Katrina, same insanity. The protest turns into riots where everybody was just stealing all kinds of shit, and then actually the whole place got basically they went in with bulldozers and knocked out the 9th ward. They just destroyed it so nobody can move back. I've noticed, I've really witnessed a lot of these kinds of things, you guys. And the bottom line is, guess who's gonna move? Guess who's gonna lose out? Guess who's gonna lose out? The people. The people you profess to be fighting for. You are burning down businesses that illegals run. Not illegals. I apologize. Immigrants run. Legal immigrants. Okay, people who come to this country and built businesses. You're burning those businesses down. You're writing nasty shit all over the wall with all of the spray paint. Where are you getting all that spray paint from? Okay? It's so much insanity. You are destroying your own space. None of that will be repaired. And then we have an idiot called Karen Bass who's just like what? We don't need all these National Guard and we don't need this. Do you know this? Do you know that the government here, Karen Bass and Newsom, both said that they are not going to support ICE. Do you know that? They said they're not going to support ICE. So guess why the National Guard came in? The National Guard was put here so that they could actually guard ICE while they did their job. Our own government here, okay, in our city was saying that they are not going to defend ICE. They are not going to help them. What? So you asked for it. Bass, who I cannot stand. It's the reason why this whole city is completely destroyed. Newsom, destroyed. The fact that these people are even still here is disgusting. And now we're on martial law. Did you know that? Shut down from 8 p.m. till 6 a.m. in the morning. You can't move around. That's what happened in Katrina, people. It's like you act like just because I'm white, I don't know anything. I know a lot. Okay, I know a lot. My skin color means nothing. Okay, but what do you call this? So can I be like partly of color? Like, you people are so dumb. Always using skin color and ridiculousness. If you listen to people who actually have experience, like I have experience in transitioning, little kids should not be shoved into some space. Like, no, you're a transphobe. You're a TERF. Like, oh, why don't you listen to people who actually have experience in things? Calm yourself down. Sit down. Stop throwing slurs at everybody, thinking that's going to create a better space. It's not. It's America, people. We live in America. You are allowed to protest, but what you're not allowed to do is destroy property, period. And anyone who thinks that's okay, you're so dumb. You are so dumb. You are just dumb. That's it. That's all I can say. You're just dumb. That's all we're at for it. I'm not. I was called a dummy my whole life, and I refuse to be a dummy. So do some research, people. Look at what's going on. Like, look at the whole picture. You know, I don't agree with everything that Trump does. I do not. I am not sure if going into people's spaces and just ripping them out. I just don't know. Something about it doesn't feel so great. But that being said, why do we have such a big problem? What is wrong with everybody? Why do we have such a big... It is not okay for somebody to be in this country who is undocumented. You know that an undocumented person can do very bad things because they're undocumented, which means that we don't know who they are and we don't know what they're doing. That's how they do things like 9/11, people, okay? They sneak up on you, and next thing you know, shit is destroyed. So if you care about this country and you care about actual immigrants coming to this country, you will want to create a better, safer space for not only us as Americans, but for the immigrants who should be allowed to come to this country through a system. And then we can all share and prosper, because we should all be sharing and prospering. We should not be hoarding it all, but it's not our responsibility to open the floodgates to all the other countries who are losers so that their people can come here and then we have to take care of them. That is not the American way. The American way is to help once we are situated in a space, okay? So I don't care if you believe, I don't care if you agree with me, I don't care if you think I'm this or that, it's how I believe. And I believe that's how we're going to get back to it. I know it's hard. I know sometimes it's hard to think out things. I know it's hard because we've been all told stupid shit lies about everything. Do some research on stuff, people. And then we can continue to have these spaces where we're allowed to say things that you get called bad names over there. I'm not here. You can full on disagree with me. 100% you can. But if you and I don't have these conversations and understand that we do like our country, we do. Why is it bad to be an American? Why is it now bad if you believe in the American flag? Why is it now bad if you support American spaces? Well, how is that now a bad thing? Then why are you living here? Why are you even here? If you don't want to be in this country, don't be in this country. Move. That's what I did. I actually didn't want to be in this country when I moved to Mexico. I got pissed off at Bush for going after obscenity stuff, and I left the country for 10 years. Okay? And then I came back. You have every opportunity to go live in any other country in the world. Go do it. But don't start calling this country all the names that you call us and try to destroy the system that we have in place so that we can prosper. Okay? So with that, love you all very much. I appreciate you all very much. Thank you for helping me grow this channel. You know, things seem a little slow here, but we're going to move it up. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard doing these kinds of things. You never understand what's going to go up and what's going to go down and what, but I'm going to continue to do this because I love building this channel with you all. I love having these conversations with you all. You're all so intelligent and you great conversations and great, information you give me. So with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys. I'll be putting stuff out in the next couple days, and keep focused. Be proud to be an American. No matter who you voted for, you didn't vote, you're still an American, and you still deserve to have your voice heard. Okay. So with that, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. I'm not going downtown, by the way.